Your reaction to the passing today, the repeal?
Hi, Jonathan. Thanks for having me. Well, obviously, it is a good day in Arizona. We are breathing something of a sigh of relief after our legislature finally repealed this insane 1864 near total abortion ban that was written at a time when Arizona wasn't a state. Women couldn't vote, and the Civil War was still raging. But it's as you noted, we're still not out of the woods. There could be a period of time, a few months here in Arizona where that 1864 ban actually goes into effect. I am working as hard as I can to try to prevent that from happening. We're hoping that the Arizona Supreme Court will put a stay on the 1864 ban. The reason is that the repeal of the ban won't go into a place until 90 days after a legislature ends its session, which could be as late as August or even after that. So, obviously it's a good day, but how insane is it that we even are talking about the women of our state having to live under an 1864 ban that, if it is implemented, Jonathan, will end up with a woman dying here.
And the vice president today said that even though this repeal is relief, the vice president noted that Arizona still is under a 15-week abortion ban with no exceptions for rape or incest. So the work's not over, is it?
The work is absolutely not over, which is why, I believe the people of Arizona are resoundingly going to pass a ballot initiative in November that will enshrine abortion rights in our Constitution. That 15-week ban itself has no exceptions for rape or incest. And I've been talking to doctors and chief medical officers from hospitals all across the state of Arizona, Jonathan, who are living under that 15-week ban, and they're having to make decisions about how close they allow a woman to get to death before they can care for her. When they have an emergency in their pregnancy, that is unacceptable in the year 2024 that doctors are having to consult with attorneys about whether or not they can provide care to a woman and save her life. And so, yeah, we've got a lot of work to do in Arizona and all across this land to make sure that women retain and have the right to control our own bodies and the right to live and the right to be free people.
Attorney General Mays, you and Governor Katie Hobbs won in the wake of Dobbs, and you beat the Republican candidate to become Arizona's top prosecutor by just 240 votes. Some people think voting doesn't matter, and I wonder if you could just speak to that for a minute, because this morning people in Arizona were living under a law that could have been used to prosecute them for their health care choices.
Yeah, Jonathan, one small correction, 280 votes.
Oh, 280 votes, a little more.
A little more, but you're right. It was the closest race in the history of Arizona, statewide race in the history of Arizona. And it means that every vote matters. And as a result of this election, I believe that I was elected to protect the women of this state against these outrageous abortion bans and to protect reproductive rights. Because of those 280 votes, we have an attorney general in Arizona who will fight for women, who will fight like hell for freedom and for our liberties, and will do everything I can to make sure that we protect reproductive rights in our state, and that we carry out the will of our voters. This is what the people of Arizona want. They want freedom, and they want to control their own destiny.